Blaze that are having a much better season than what they had last year.
Let's take a look at that Blaze starting lineup presented by Easton. Klingler in the 4 spot, Reese Atwood up in the 2 hole behind Aubrey Leach, with Dakota Kennedy behind her in the 3. A couple rookies there right in the heart of it to try to lead the way. It's a Blaze lineup that is average is down, but one of the best on-base percentages in the league. They are also on a better pace for home runs this year. It was something they tried to address with the rookies and also in the allocation draft. One thing they didn't have to worry too much about was their leadoff spot. Aubrey Leach, a staple in this position, just a true veteran, and jumps ahead 2-0 of Maddie Penta in the circle. Penta, third-year pro from Chesapeake City, Maryland, played her college ball at Auburn, a former SEC Pitcher of the Year and first-team All-American as a junior there in 2023. And off to a tough start, though, this year. Just 3 appearances, 3 innings, and has given up 9 earned runs. This is her first start.
Yeah, it's been a slow start for her. She's been, quite frankly, hit pretty hard. It's going to be a big start for her to try to figure some things out, especially in this 5-game losing streak that the Spark are on.
Leach in the left got all of it, and it kind of hopped up awkwardly on McKinney. So Leach is going to take second, and now she will try for third. So Aubrey Leach stands 60 feet from home, just a few pitches into this game.
Aubrey Leach does a good job of staying on this screwball and takes it the other way. It's a little bit up in the zone, great hands on that swing, but Sydney McKinney on a turf outfield, it's a turf infield as well here in Oklahoma City, is not expecting that big bounce. Good base running by Leach to get to third base.
McKinney made a great play in left field the other night on a throw, but that is somebody who is typically, you're going to see here on the infield, second, third, maybe shortstop. This is lifted to left, a no-doubter off the bat of Reese Atwood. The rookie wastes no time in putting Carolina on the board.
There have been so many first pitch home runs this season. Hitters are wanting to be aggressive against these elite pitchers in a slightly wider strike zone, so they go up looking early in the count. Bailey Klingler's grand slam was on the first pitch, and now Reese Atwood's home run is on the first pitch.
4th home run of the season for Reese Atwood, leads Carolina in that category. She is one of the most likely in the lineup to swing first pitch, along with Bailey Klingler, who we saw hit the grand slam. Both of them on the first pitch of the at-bat, and both swing at more than 40% of first pitches.
Yeah, Maddie Penta is a hard thrower, so throwing at 69, 70 miles an hour, she provides a lot of velocity for these hitters. She'll work screwball, curveball, rise, and go down the zone 2 with a little bit of a drop ball. Changes speeds, but 70 miles an hour she can bring it up to, all the way down to 55 with her changeup.
Penta is ahead 0-2 of Kennedy and gets her to swing through that pitch. Let's go to Anna, who is with Reese Atwood.
Okay, Reese, you're barely recognizable right now. The chain and the sunglasses are new. There's also Mackenzie Clark.
Yes, I think it all came from her.
Okay, walk us through that pitch. You wasted no time getting going today.
Yeah, I knew what I was hunting for. Our coaches had given us a really good scout before game, and that was the pitch I was hunting.
What'd you eat for breakfast? Because I think we all need to have some of that.
What did I eat? Alyssa Burrito took us to Harvey's. It was a really good place here in Oklahoma.
Okay, another plug for Harvey's. Thanks, Reese.
She's like, where am I today? That's kind of how I think we all feel at this point in the season. Where am I? Oklahoma City. Little friend breakfast.
Well, how about that? Sooners and Longhorns getting along, too. Burrito taking Reese Atwood and friends.
And there was a lot going on with the chain and the sunglasses and the cape, which came out in Durham for their series against the Talons. And they won that last game of the season, or excuse me, of the series, and looked really good. That cape came out a couple of times when they hit a home run. It's been a new thing.
Bailey Klingler's first at bat, just her 5th game back, reaches for that out into right. And Amari Harper comes in from her spot to make the play.
Aubrey Leach and Reese Atwood were on time with 69.70 from the hand of Maddie Penta. You could tell that they're ready for her speed. That was a rise ball that Reese Atwood was able to get to up and in on her hands, but when she goes up with a plan and gets on time like that and she gets the pitch that she's looking for, Reese Atwood is really going to hit a lot of home runs. I mean, we have saw that in her college career, and we've seen that already as a pro with 4 home runs in this season as a rookie.
This is a completely different team, despite a lot of familiar faces for Carolina this year. This is popped up on the infield. Roos calls off everybody and makes the catch. What a start. Aubrey Leach set the table. Reese Atwood eats up 2-0 after the top of the first. The City Sparks starting lineup presented by Rawlings. Look out for the 2 spots. Sydney Romero, couple home runs on back-to-back days, 5 RBIs, and then earlier in the year, a 5-game multi-hit streak that she put together. She's surrounded by Sydney McKinney and Delaney Wiz in the top 3. They need more, though, from the bottom half of this order.
I got to get it going down there with Roos, Haley Lee, and Grace Jenkins. Needs some production from the bottom half.
They will face off with the veteran out of Florida, Alicia Ocasio, in her 9th year as a pro, a former national champion as a freshman at Florida, and a tremendous two-way player. She's off to an excellent start. 2-0 with a 2.21 ERA and 12 2/3 innings pitched.
It's really lowered her ERA this season from last season by about 5 points.
Well, Jordan Rudd-Lee, the catcher, I think having an issue with her pitch comm right out of the gate, so she'll swap it for a different one. Slow roller back to Ocasio, tremendous fielder of her position, and there's one out as they retire McKinney.
Yeah, Ocasio does such a good job of changing speeds and changing spin. She spins the ball almost as good as anybody in this league. It creates a ton of movement with all of her pitches. So her rise, curve, drop, and off-speed pitch that she'll work in there. Her drop also serves as another speed variation. That was the out that she got from McKinney out in front of that pitch, but she can vary it between 55 and 65 miles an hour. She's not going to throw at the same high velocity as somebody like Maddie Penta, her counterpart, but she's all about spin and movement and changing speeds.
Is there something that's looked different about Alicia this year? Just got her swagger back, maybe?
Yeah, I think she's attacking the zone more and throwing more strikes. When you look last year at the amount of free passes that she gave up, I think that really hurt her, but she's just playing with a lot of confidence, getting a chance to play a lot of defensive positions, involved in the everyday hitting lineup, and I think that when you're a two-way player like her, just a pure athlete, you thrive in that position.
Ocasio, a longtime member of Team Puerto Rico. Sydney Romero, though, in a hitter's count, 3-1. Grounder, and that bounces under the glove of Gold over at third base. We'll see how they rule it. Gold's only made 1 error on the season. It's a play that she will have wanted herself to make, but Romero is on, and they will rule that a hit.
Well, Sydney Romero just has continued to hit the ball hard, hitting for a high exit velocity, so even a ground ball like that coming off of her bat at 69 miles an hour, considered a hard hit speed. This is tough for Anna Gold to be able to stay in front of with that hard hop off the turf.
Pitch bounced away from Rudd-Lee and allows Sydney Romero into second base. This is early stages, but feels important like an important inning for OKC to try to get some sort of response. Wiz takes and jumps ahead 2-0. Delaney Wiz, 5 home runs on the season. Takes that pitch for strike 1. So much power. She's so clutch. Saw 2 game-winning hits last year when she was a member of the Chicago Bandits. The top 3 in their order are from either the Talons or the Bandits from last year. And if you go a couple more, four of the top 5 are from those two teams. McKinney, Wiz, and Bubba Nichols-Camarena all came from Chicago, and Sydney Romero came from Utah. That all happening in the expansion draft. And yet here we are at about the midway point in the season. Utah looks like the best team in the league, and Chicago got everybody back from Japan, and they are as hot as anyone. Brito stays down on it, and there's 2 outs.
Yeah, when Alicia Ocasio is pitching well, she's going to roll a lot of ground ball outs like you've seen already in this inning, getting hitters to hit it off the end of their bat, or even if they make hard contact with it, like Sid Romero, she'll find herself with a lot of ground balls toward her infield. So her defense is going to have to step up today, and she has a lot of Gold Glovers back, or a couple Gold Glovers back behind her today.
Gold, Brito, Laird, and Klingler, the infield for Carolina in this one. That is up and in and hits Amari Harper. First time she's reached in the 2 games against the Blaze.
Next to the plate, center fielder number 48, Bubba Nichols-Camarena.
Here's Bubba Nichols-Camarena. A lot of pop for Bubba. Couple home runs on the season. 8 RBIs. The average has dipped, though, down to 220. Just 1 for 13 in the last 5 games.
A couple of curveballs did not get the call on that last pitch. A little bit off the plate, but good pitch by Ocasio. That curveball, she likes to just paint right there on the outside corner at the knees to these right-handed hitters.
Ground ball right side for Nichols-Camarena. They will hold Romero, and it might have been a good decision. That's a nice stop by Rudd Lee behind the dish. And now the bases are loaded, and oh, how Amber Flores would love to give Carolina a taste of their own medicine here with the grand slam. No one is more familiar with this field than Sydney Sherrill, who was an assistant coach here at Oklahoma Christian University, where the Spark call home in this 2026 season. This is a big opportunity for Sherrill.
Well, it's a tougher matchup, too, going up against Alicia Ocasio. Lefties are hitting 182 off of her. Righties are hitting over 100 points higher, so close to 300 for the righties. So just a tough lefty matchup with Ocasio and how she spins that drop ball to their back foot. Not easy to barrel up.
Sherrill takes ball 1 high. Big crowd here in Edmond, Oklahoma, just outside OKC tonight. Beautiful Wednesday evening. It is hot, just over 90 degrees, but a light breeze. Sherrill rips it through the right side, and Oklahoma City has their response. 2 runs will score, and now runners at the corners here in the bottom of the first. Just what they needed.
Yeah, we talked about Ocasio throwing this drop ball to the lefties, and Sid Sherrill does such a good job of getting underneath that drop, or having the idea as a hitter to get her barrel to the bottom half of this ball to turn it into a line drive through the infield. Good swing by Sherrill with runners in scoring position to create that response from the Spark.
Something about 2 outs in this 2-game series. It's what Oklahoma City did the majority of their damage with, or excuse me, Carolina did the majority of their damage with in game 1. And now Oklahoma City, 3 consecutive base runners with 2 outs. Inside runner goes, and Sherrill is safe at second. It does catch the corner. 2-1 count for Ocasio. Kirsten Roos, newest member of Oklahoma City, still looking for her first professional hit. Ground ball left side on a Gold. Handles it 2-2 after 1 inning in OKC. It's a big game in the AUSL standings.
Do it again today. It fell off in warm-ups once again. She's using the pen again today. And this is just something that most athletes don't have to deal with on game days.
As inside hits Jenna Laird. It's a great story. Kirsten Roos, who finished her college career at Georgia this year for Tony Baldwin. Tremendous athlete. We saw her already make a great impact on this team with her defense in her debut a few days ago, but just added another piece to the puzzle for her as a softball player.
Yeah, she's been an inspiration for many young softball players out there. She posts about it on social media, what it's like and what she goes through. She made an awesome play in her debut. It was right here on this field. Dove up the middle, and it was really all about, kind of dove after she made the toss, but the glove toss to Sid Romero there, that was on a day that she had woke up at 3:30 to travel in to get to Oklahoma City, ended up starting that game at second base, and then went to sleep at like midnight. She documented her day on social media and kind of took us through it, but it all started at 3:30 a.m. And I mean, that's a long day for anybody, but especially when you're playing with type 1 diabetes and have a whole other thing that you have to worry about throughout the day when you're competing as a pro athlete.
Still looking for her first hit. Did see a couple swings that were really nice the other night. Hit a laser to the short, right to the second baseman. Still trying to make her impact offensively. Here's Alyssa Brito, who is starting to settle in. 2 for 3 in game 1 of this series with a solo home run. You mentioned it. It was the fire starter in that 5th inning in which they scored 5 in their come-from-behind victory. Jenna Laird on first after the hit by pitch. 2-1. Brito on top of that. It falls out of the hand of Wiz, and Laird is into second.
This drop ball that Maddie Penta is throwing is being really effective against these Blaze hitters. You saw what Aubrey Leach did and Reese Atwood did to start off this game. It was pitches up in the zone, a screwball and a rise ball. They were on time with 70. This drop ball that Penta is throwing and getting swings and misses and these hitters out in front is about 64. So there it is again. So it's been a nice compliment to her speed, as you could tell that they've been geared up for her 70 miles an hour that she can bring. And her counter to this is a 62 mile an hour drop ball now in the dirt, getting Brito to chase that pitch after the hit by pitch.
Second strikeout for Penta, now faces Mackenzie Clark, who gets the nod today in center field. Mackenzie kind of been in and out of the lineup recently. We've seen her also only in the outfield in a game against Utah this past weekend, but gets the full go tonight in the 8th spot in the lineup. Hit just .217 last year, but she does have some power. 4 home runs a year ago, was part of the first ever trade in AUSL history. She was a member of the Volts, and then flipped places with Sierra Briggs last season in coming over to Carolina. Two-one count for Mackenzie, who we talked to in the dugout the other day, and she showed us her notebook in which she has, it appears, multiple bingos going on at one time, and it felt like, if you're superstitious, she had a big part in that win the other night.
She has such a big personality in the dugout. She's the one that purchased the cape that they started to use after home runs whenever they were playing in Durham the last series, but she was so fun to talk to. And yeah, she's tracking the bingo card, making it before every game.
That just misses on the inside corner. 3-2 now for Penta. That one gets away from her. Mackenzie Clark is aboard with a 1-out walk, and now 2 on for Alicia Ocasio.
From Coming to the plate, the pitcher, number 8, Alicia Ocasio.
1 out for Ocasio and 2 on. 0 for 3 in game 1. Alicia fouls it straight back. Well, Alicia having a much better year. I think one of the things that when you look at Alicia's numbers from last year to this year, a lot of credit goes to her head coach, Cara Dill, who was the pitching coach last year. She was on this staff. But you look at the turnaround that they've enjoyed under Cara Dill. 7 wins last year, already 7 this year, and in playoff position, which a win tonight would help boost a ton. Chance for 2 here. And they will just get the force at second. But Cara Dill's management of this pitching staff, Dana Sorensen's work that she put together in not just the college draft, but the allocation draft as well, bringing in players like Alyssa Brito, has just completely changed the complexion of this franchise.
Yeah, a lot of new faces, a lot of returning vets that were a big part of last year's team, and the success that they did have at times have just made this Blaze team a really balanced team.
Ground ball right side for Roos. It's a clean inning for Penta despite a couple base runners. Oklahoma City going to try and keep the bats going in the bottom half. Somebody give Carlin Pickens the aux cord. What's your go-to Taylor Swift song?
I don't know. I was just like looking through my music and thinking, which one do I play the most? I kind of been with Kehlani of Bad Blood. That was a most played one for me.
They were singing our song in the dugout. Is Anna, do we have Anna on the mic? Can we get a Taylor Swift song from Anna? Let's see if we can.
I am the biggest Swiftie, actually. Chucky, we have that in common. Like you said, Queen of Kansas City. Heck yeah.
Yes.
I'm an Eagles fan, so that's like the only tie I have to Kansas City. But favorite song of all time, it's got to be All Too Well, 10-minute version. But I do love our song, and I do love the Tortured Poets Department album. So it's really hard to say. I like them all.
They were singing our song in the dugout. I was very impressed. Like that's way back.
And what was yours?
I do like the new stuff.
Yeah.
Like Fate of Ophelia and Opalite. I think it is very good sing-along songs.
We had Barbie night, our last day in Durham, so that was fun to have Barbie Day and see, I don't know, all the pink that was everywhere for the Blaze's home game at the Durham Bulls Stadium.
Haley Lee putting together a nice at-bat here to start off the bottom of the second. She's trying to get her bat going as well, 0 for 3 in the first game, and has had some struggles offensively. And you can see the frustration. I thought in game 1 of this series, you could really see how frustrated she was, because I think she knows and everyone knows what's in that bat. It just has not come to fruition yet.
She has a lot of power. She's just been swinging and missing a lot. First strikeout of the day for Alicia Ocasio came on a rise ball, getting Haley Lee to swing and miss and chase out of the zone.
Strike 1 from Alicia Ocasio, trying to match Maddie Penta's 0 that she was able to put up on the scoreboard in the top of the second. Facing Grace Jenkins, who was 1 for 3 in game 1. The rookie out of Arizona, started her college career as a tremendous catcher at UConn, and then transitioned to the outfield when she transferred to Arizona as a senior. Jenkins goes opposite field toward the bleachers, and it's gone! A first career home run for Grace Jenkins.
She gets to do that trust fall. That is the Spark home run celebration where you fall back into your teammates after a home run. And talked about production out of the bottom half of the order. Getting a little bit of that from Sid Sherrill in the 6-hole. And then now Grace Jenkins staying on this backdoor curveball. Does not get out enough, and Jenkins just stays on it. 227 feet for distance. Park here down the lines is 200 feet.
You know the rookie's been waiting on that one. Hit 14 this year at Arizona, hit 16 as the Big East Player of the Year a couple seasons ago at UConn. It's fouled back off the bat of Sydney McKinney. Back to the top of the order to see Ocasio for the second time.
And remember, Spark have hit the most home runs in the league. They've been at the top of that category essentially the entire year.
That is a great play by Klingler over at first to get to that before it hit the bag. And there's 2 outs. Let's go down to Anna with Grace Jenkins.
Grace, first home run of your professional career. How did it feel?
Oh, it felt amazing. You know, I was just looking on something on the outer half of the plate that I can drive, and it just happened to go over the fence, so awesome.
And gave this dugout a lot of life. There's a lot of celebrations going on in there.
Yeah, I think just like my teammates have been having my back, just coaching me at the plate, so I think like that was a win for me, but also a win for everyone else.
Thanks, Grace.
I think everyone's used to it, and I felt like Grace Jenkins was headed that way before Anna even. Maybe Anna was waving her down, but it just feels like the players know now. You got to go find Anna after you hit one over the wall.
And all this access that we get in AUSL.
Wow, Sydney Romero is just incredible right now.
The ball is coming off of her bat different. That one 76 miles an hour exit velo the opposite way. She's hitting the ball hard.
She had 2 balls. She hit 77 miles an hour a couple nights ago. And so now she's stringing together another multi-hit streak. That's back-to-back games. Delaney Wiz takes strike 1. Is a mile in the air, but out of play. Oh-2. Good job by Rudd Lee, former Johnny Bench winner, behind the plate to block that up. Johnny Bench award winner, I should say. Wiz, hard hit. That's going to go off the base of the wall. Bounces really kindly back to Kennedy, but it's a double for Delaney Wiz. More 2-out base hits.
There's so much power in this Spark lineup, and the strength of their team has been their offense. They can really pour on runs quickly. Sid Romero hitting the ball hard, 76 miles an hour. Then Delaney Wiz, exit velocity, 76 miles an hour. But this is a pitch that is a miss over the heart of the plate. That has a lot of plate on it. Mistake. Delaney Wiz says thank you and smacks it to the left side in a pitcher's count.
Jordan Rudley wants to talk with Alicia Ocasio really quickly. And remember, this is a team that is without Maya Brady again tonight for the 5th consecutive game. They are without Kinsey Hansen-McKenzie, who is out for the season, expecting her first child with her husband, Kobe. That was their first pick in the allocation draft. Brady is their first pick in the expansion draft. Another one opposite field. Kennedy back to the wall, and it's gone. Amari Harper gets one this time. It's a 3-1 shot, and OKC is trying to break this thing open.
The ball is sounding different coming off of their bat today, isn't it? They're just more on time, squaring things up, and Amari Harper was even a little bit out in front of that pitch, but this ball got into the jet stream. On the distance in the TrackMan, it says 195 feet, but I really think that that ball got up, and the wind carried it that extra 5 feet for an Amari Harper home run. Look at that smile and energy getting to celebrate with their teammates. This Spark team knows that this is a must-win game on their 5-game losing streak coming into this one.
It would put them just 1 win behind Chicago and Carolina overall, despite the games played being a little bit different. But it's just what the doctor ordered in the 2nd inning. 4 runs for OKC.
Is in that category.
Big reason why they are on such a better pace from a power perspective. They were so close last year. I mean, you look at the Blazers season, only got the 7 wins, 7-17, but you look at offensively, they were actually pretty good, 2nd best in average, but they were 4th in home runs, only hit 18 of them. Now they've hit 14 on the season.
Had a lot of injuries that they dealt with, especially in the circle last year.
Carly Hoover, the big one. She only threw in 2/3 of an inning. Came back from Japan. She gets the start. There's all this excitement that maybe Carolina's season was going to turn around at that point, and based on how Hoover's looked in the very limited time we've seen her for Portland, it looks like that might have been the case a season ago. Atwood off the end of the bat, shallow center, and Bubba makes a nice running grab.
Yeah, Maddie Pinta has done such a good job of just mixing up her pitches, understanding what the Blaze were looking for up in the zone. Pitching Reese Atwood completely different. Home run came on a rise ball up and in, so this next at bat they were all low and away with the drop, and then got her out on the curve off the end of the bat, so staying away from her after that pull side home run.
Dakota Kennedy struck out on a pitch away, and her last at bat takes inside ball one.
And that drop ball for Maddie Pinta is really moving. 10 inches of vertical break down. She takes a little bit off of that. It serves as an off-speed pitch, a middle speed for her in between her hardest pitch at 69.70 and her changeup. There's her changeup. So there's that lowest speed. So she's really transformed the way that she's throwing these Blaze pitchers, not relying on her speed really at all, but her off-speed pitches and her changeup are coming in strong against them.
Oklahoma City was familiar with Pinta because she played for them last year. So Amber Flores, who's been their head coach the last few years, knew all about Maddie Pinta. They went and got her with the second pick in the allocation draft, the second round pick, I should say. Winningest pitcher in Auburn history, 76 wins, a 1.79 career ERA, and showing off the glove too, 2 outs.
That drop ball was just got that last out at Dakota Kennedy off the end of the bat, hard into the ground. Again, 9 inches of vertical breakdown. And you think about it, she's a really tall pitcher, stands at 6'1", 6'2", so that drop ball has room to break out of her hand and work through the strike zone.
Has started to work ahead of hitters a little bit more as this game gone on. Now 9 of 13 first pitch strikes. Cheryl, strong throw across as Pinta works with you guys on the road and even in your home places, staying in hotels. What's it like when you do get on a road trip like this?
Yeah, just getting back in the groove of things, doing my best to stay present. I'm happy to be back with the Blazers.
Sydney Sherrill leads off the inning against a new pitcher, Jayla Wright. You can hear the wind in Bailey's mic on the field.
And Bailey, you can play so many different positions. When did that start for you in your career that you became so versatile, being able to play infield, outfield, everywhere?
Definitely started in high school. I played a lot of shortstop growing up, moved over to third, and then Coach Tar at Washington had me playing a little bit of everything. I caught a little bit. I think the only position I didn't play in college was center and pitcher. So it's fun. It makes every day different. A lot of practice, a lot of extra reps everywhere for sure.
At any point in your career did you pitch? Like in youth ball or anything?
A little bit in high school, but it was more of just for the school, not in select ball for sure. But I throw my spins all the time before every game, just in case. But yeah.
Here's Kirsten Roos, the second batter to come up after the leadoff walk to Sydney Sherrill.
Yes, Jay. Good spot.
Bailey, you were on the team last year. You guys had 7 wins last year and then 7 wins already this year. What's been the difference in this team?
Yeah, I think just really not worrying about last year. We were just trying to get, yes, Reese! Just trying to get in the groove. I mean, we hit well. We put up a lot of numbers, and I think that the record wasn't a testament of us as a team, just an outcome's an outcome, and I think we played good ball. But just being present and not worrying about what's happened, just moving forward. Yes! Good, Jay!
2-1 count to Kirsten Roos. Bailey, you had a great comment the other day when we talked to you after the win about kind of the difference between the pitching in Japan versus here. I'll let you see this pitch first.
Yes!
What, from a league perspective, we talk so much about the JDL because so many of the players just got back. Just give the fans an idea of what's the biggest difference from the JDL and the AUSL.
Yeah, it's just, you know, the game's the game. It's the same, but yet it's so different, you know. We kind of go over to Japan to produce some power, whether it's pitching, hitting, whatever. Typically and generally, it's a very structured game over there, very quick, fast-paced. Good, Jay! And the same is true here. It's just different. But it's fun. I think I've definitely developed as a player, just being all over Mexico too. But it's good to be back and playing ball in America.
One out after the backwards K of Roos. Here is Haley Lee, who struck out swinging her first time up.
Yes, Jay. Yes, Jay.
Bailey, would you have ever thought that you'd have this amount of opportunities to play softball all over the world as a professional when you were in middle school or high school?
Yes! Absolutely not. It was always a dream. Yeah, Reese, I see you. It was always a dream for sure, but now being able to play, this will be my 6th month out of the year, going from Mexico straight to Japan, straight to AU and going back after season. It's a great privilege. I'm just trying to do whatever I can. It's not a secret the Olympics are approaching, so just doing everything I can when I get the opportunity, and if my name's called, I'm ready, and there's no doubt about that. So just doing whatever I can, being a small piece in the puzzle to grow it internationally. But no, it's amazing, and to see the growth in AU is beautiful. I mean, every stadium I've been to has been pretty much packed, so it's amazing.
And just one quick follow-up. You said go back. You mean go back and play at Japan, right?
Yes, yes, yes. There's a second half of season. So we just finished the first half, and then we finish out the second half after AU.
Just no breaks for some of you guys out there, but we love it. Thanks so much, Bailey, for the time. It's incredible. Go from, I mean, she mentioned she's played Mexico as well the last couple years. A number of players do that. And then Japan, of course, the AUSL continues to grow as Haley Lee goes down on strikes, and back-to-back Ks after the leadoff walk for Jayla Wright. Well, Amanda, for Jayla Wright, we're seeing her now putting together back-to-back appearances that look really positive, especially if she does end up getting out of this inning with no runs. But against Utah, best outing of her season, 3 innings, 3 walks, and 4 Ks.
Yeah, when she's throwing strikes, she can get a lot of outs. She can get strikeouts and a lot of ground ball outs because she throws a heavy drop ball and mixes in her changeup as well. And when she came in, she has a new catcher in Reese Atwood back behind the plate too. She looked really comfortable throwing in that game against Utah with Reese back behind the plate, who is just helping to manage her, and just, you know, all these pitchers feel very comfortable already with Reese being a rookie throwing to her because she manages them so well.
Yeah, we talked about the injuries for Oklahoma City. Carolina also dealing with one themselves, Kayla Kowalik. That is a huge miss, and it's not just from behind the plate. They're fine with Reese Atwood behind the plate, but the bat of Kowalik, and it's another versatile piece that can play multiple positions that they miss out on with Kayla on the bench.
We just have some injured players in this game that are big names. That's just so unfortunate. Kayla Kowalik being injured, Jessie Warren being injured for the Spark, Maya Brady, who had mentioned before as well.
There is the walk to Grace Jenkins. 2 on, 2 out. So on a big day too. Team USA announcing multiple rosters, but the one that will be a part of the World Cup group stage features 5 players from our game tonight. Maya Brady on the Spark, Alyssa Brito, Kayla Kowalik, Aubrey Leach, and Carlin Pickens all going to that group stage World Cup.
Which will be here in Oklahoma City, just down the road at Devon Park, and that will be after the end of the summer.
There's other teams too. There's an International Cup team, so there's even more players. A lot of those players that you will see on those rosters are playing in the AUSL. That is bounced in there.
And we talked about how Reese Atwood caught Jayla Wright the other day against Utah, and really the only thing getting in the way of Jayla Wright having so much success is the amount of free passes that she's been giving up. But you see Reese Atwood touching her helmet, communicating to her, when Jayla Wright's drop ball tends to miss low, which as a pitcher, if you're going to miss your drop ball, you'd rather miss it low than up. So Reese Atwood will touch her helmet or give her a sign above her head. I feel like she kind of almost waved a little bit above her head to give a different target for Jayla Wright to look at, to try to raise her drop ball more up in the zone.
This is smoked into center right at Mackenzie Clark. Good swing from Sid McKinney, but it amounts to nothing still. It's a 4-run lead for the Spark. Right field any given night for Utah in the biggest ballpark in the AUSL.
Well, that's a great point, Chucky. I do want to add that on. It's a big reason of giving her Player of the Year, because her defense has been amazing in the outfield. We've got to see really what Jalen Alchett is capable of. You can tell she's playing with a ton of confidence in every aspect of the game.
Last year, Erin Koffel won both Player and Hitter of the Year. Morgan Circle certainly had a really good case to be the Hitter of the Year, but it was kind of a similar situation where Koffel was so good defensively as a middle infielder, plus she had the offensive numbers, so it really made sense as the Player of the Year. But Circle had an outrageous year at the plate.
When you think about another option for Player of the Year, Sammy Williams, of course, as we talked about her hitting prowess. But how about Maya Brady? She definitely would be that candidate, but she's missed the last 4 games because of injury. But before she went down, she was the one leading the league in batting average and RBIs and home runs, and her numbers are still really good, but she's missed a good chunk of games now. So you know that the Spark want to be able to get her back in. They've lost all these games with her being on the sidelines.
See Maya Brady's numbers, and I think home runs, that's with her missing these games. RBIs, that's with her missing some of these games. And then, of course, the glove that she has out in center field. Anna Gold fouls that back.
She was playing at the beginning of the year like the best candidate for Player of the Year. So we've seen some players really thrive offensively, like Sammy Williams, like Maya Brady, and like the way that Jalen Alchett stepped up. Jalen Alchett was 4 for 4 last night. Their win against the Volts in Utah.
Two from Penta. Upstairs to Gold. Top of the 4th, Carolina needs to get it going, but they did all their damage with a 5-run 5th inning on Monday night. Gold reaches out, and Roos showing off great range at second base. The rookie has been a tremendous defensive addition.
Communicating with Sydney Romero, who was able to get out of the way pretty quickly, but that could have been a collision up the middle of the field. It was even more toward the shortstop side, but Roos got such a good beat on it that Romero ended up sliding, getting out of her way, giving her a little bit of love after that catch. Roos can cover a ton of ground. We talk about how important this game is for the Spark and how important it is specifically for Maddie Penta to be able to come out here and give them a quality start. They've been searching for it. It's been hard for Oklahoma City to find a starter these last few games that can go deep into the game. But Maddie Penta does have the type of tools with her pitch mix that can go up, down, and change speeds that can last and be able to go deep into a game and face hitters multiple times because of how much she can mix it up. She has just not been able to see the results before this game. Got hit hard. I think opponents were hitting over 400 off of her in her limited innings once she came back from Japan here.
At 467 entering this game, and gave up those 2 quick runs, but excellent sense. Jenna Laird back to Penta, gets knocked down, and she is unable to get it to first. Hopefully she's all right, and I think that's what she was telling Haley Lee, is I'm good. And they will check on her for just a moment. Don't forget, tomorrow night, back in Chicago. Game 2 between the Cascade and the Bandits at 7 Eastern. It's live on ESPN. You can stream every inning on the ESPN app. Penta is good to go. Chicago is really good right now. They lost their first 4 games of the season. Since that point, they are 7-3 in their last 10. They've won 3 in a row, and they have scored 35 runs in the last 3 games.
They came here to this field and hit over 400 against the Spark. They won those 2 games, put 22 runs on them in 2 games, and they continued that offensive momentum last night against the Bandits, where, against the Cascade, where they run rolled them. And the Cascade had the 2nd best ERA in the league, and they still put up all those runs against them.
They've had at least 8 runs and at least 12 hits in 3 consecutive games. They've only played 1 full-length game in that time, 2 run rule victories in just 5. Runner goes. Throw is a little bit high, and she came off the base. Laird could not stay on second base, so Romero sticks with it.
Jenna Laird just kept going when she dove in, and Sydney Romero, of course, did the right thing, just keeping that tag on her, but sliding to the outside part of the bag. And I love Laird trying to get her toes back to the bag to get in there before Sydney was able to put the tag on her. Delaney Wiz with a throw out.
Nobody on for Alyssa Brito now. 2-1 count with 2 outs. That's a good spot from Penta. Brito into left field. That'll drop in front of McKinney. Back-to-back singles, but just 1 on to show for it.
The center fielder, number 86, Mackenzie Clark.
There you go, 2 hits and a home run to the first 2 batters since in the last 14, just 2 hits.
Being able to mix speeds with that off-speed drop ball that she throws, as well as her changeup. And you know that she feels good about just being able to get into a rhythm with this team on their home field.
Popped up for Delaney Wiz, an easy one for the Spark backstop. And Maddie Penta continued. That was our athlete feature presented by Sephora, the exclusive beauty partner of the AUSL. Incredible family, the Romeros. Very tragically lost their father a couple years ago after a battle with cancer, just 50 years old. It was Michael. See their mom all the time at the ballparks, out supporting all 3 girls. Sophia is the youngest. Sierra plays for the Volts. And then, of course, their brother, Mikey, who was a former top 25 draft pick in the MLB, currently with the Red Sox in their AAA team. How about this for the last week for the Romero family? Sierra started this streak that they're on back on June 24th with a home run. The 25th is the only day they have not hit a home run since then. Mikey homered on the 26th and the 27th. Sid went and homered on the 28th and 29th. And yesterday, Mikey hit 2 home runs in the Red Sox AAA game. They are on an unbelievable run, and now it's up to Sid to keep it going.
Yeah, so it feels like she's due here. But kind of seems like when you hear about Mikey Romero, maybe his major league debut is just on the verge. Maybe happening soon.
Here is Sid right on cue, but it is right at Clark in center. There is 1 out. That's another one over 70 miles per hour off of her bat. Be swinging the best bat she has as a pro this year.
It just seems like, well, in particular in this game, every time she's coming up, she's hitting the ball 70+ miles an hour. The ball is just flying off of her bat. You can tell she's playing free, like she talked about, and that's Sephora.
That is low to Delaney Wiz, 3-1 count. Trying to start things up with 1 out. Oklahoma City hit just shy of 280 in their first 9 games and had 16 home runs. In the 4 games, though, before this series, they had only hit 2. Anna Gold thought she caught that and lost it on the way up, but they're going to say that's a base knock for Wiz. She was even asking maybe for a challenge, so Kara Dill is coming out of the dugout. And we are going to have a challenge here. I think that's a catch, isn't it?
It looked like a catch to me, yeah, from the above home plate angle. This one was a little bit different, seeing if we could tell if it hit the ground from the side.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
From behind home plate, I thought, oh yeah, that's in the air. But I think from this side angle, it's a one-hopper into her glove. This side view is the one to me that tells me it wasn't a catch. Or are they just saying it's not a catch because she didn't come up with it cleanly?
That's what I thought the ruling on the field was, that she lost, she never had it all the way. I think she had it, but I think it might have hit the ground first, to your point.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You don't need an announcement. You just saw it.
That's challenge.
Having some umpire technical difficulties with the mic there.
So 1 challenge remaining for the Blaze, 2 for Oklahoma City. Bottom of the 4th inning in a 4-run game.
Next to the plate,
Oklahoma City stays home for 5 more games in a row. So it's going to end up being a 9-game homestand for OKC. They started the year here, had a long road trip, and now they're back for a long time before they'll go on the road for their final 5 games to Texas and Carolina. But it's just a big kind of 10 days for them, with the Blaze here right now, Portland up next, and then Utah. That feels like it might be the decider in this race for at least maybe the 3rd spot. Is who can beat Utah? Can anyone go beat the Talons 1, maybe 2 times?
Yeah, it's just that pitching staff that's so deep and tough to beat. And I feel like their offense is figuring out different ways to score, playing good defense. That Talons team, to me, just feels so strong, top to bottom. You can tell that they're playing well together, and every aspect of the game, they just seem tough to beat on.
What do you think Cindy Ball Malone's pitching plans look like when she goes into a game? I feel like she pencils somebody in, and we'll see you tomorrow.
With all the complete games.
Harper goes down. That is out number 2 for Jayla Wright. Athletes Unlimited continues Saturday night as the Cascade take on the Oklahoma City Sparks. 7 Eastern. Catch that game live on ESPN2 and every inning live on the ESPN app. So an off day for Oklahoma City. Couple off days, I should say. I think that every time I have to talk about the days of the week, I go to a quick watch check. It is Wednesday, the 1st of July currently. You were just in Chicago. You came back to OKC today. We will go to Chicago tomorrow for the Cascade against the Bandits. Portland trying to get back in the win column. That's a really interesting game. If Chicago wins that, this thing is going to set off a huge race among these 4 teams, and the Volts would love to throw their name into the hat. They need a win.
Kenzie Brown is a projected starter for the Cascade tomorrow night. Sam Landry got the ball last night, had a tough outing. Her first tough start of the year.
Yeah, Sam Landry has been excellent. 2-1, Bubba fouls that off the plate and back off herself. Bubba Nichols-Camarena just completed her first year as an assistant coach at San Diego State. She was at UCLA prior as an assistant, but she was working this year for her head coach in the AUSL last year. Stacy Newman-Denise was the head coach of the Bandits. She is in the history book as the first ever win as a head coach. The Bandits defeated the Talons on opening day of the AUSL last year. And Stacy just raved about Bubba when she got there as a player, and then backed it up by making her a member of her pitching staff, or her coaching staff.
Bubba did pitch, though. So,
I was just going to say that, too.
Bubba is kind of like Bailey Klingler. She can do everything, so put her at any position.
She was the Gatorade National Player of the Year as a senior at Merced High School back in 2016, and in part as a pitcher. But she never threw at UCLA.
Well, we were talking about how successful the Talents have been, and you go to their pitching staff and how they've been the best pitching staff in the league and thrown so many complete games. But overall in the league, complete games have been up. All of last season, we only had 8 complete games thrown by pitchers. This season already, we've had 22. So pitching seems like it's taken a step forward. These rookie pitchers have added depth, I think, to the league. The veteran pitchers have come back in the best shape and ready to go at the beginning of the season. And I think that you're seeing it pay off against these challenging hitters.
Utah has 10 of the 22. And what you'll notice, and you showed us this the other day on the standings with the ERA, and it kind of lines up, best ERA at the top, and it goes down for the most part. But what you'll notice about those 22 complete games, the bottom 2 teams in the league, the Spark and the Volts, only have 1 combined. And it was Oklahoma City, and it was on opening day with the rookie Maya Johnson.
Yeah, and it is pretty telling. It just goes to show in our game, we talk a lot about how pitching is so important. I mean, you see that at every level, but you see it in the standings with the Talons having the best ERA, and the Cascade got hit around a little bit last night that raised their team ERA, but they had the second best in the league. Blaze in 3rd place with where their ERA sits right now. So it kind of goes in ascending order of lowest ERA to highest ERA toward the top of the standings.
You'll notice that 4 spot, the Bandits. Keep an eye on that, 4-2-7 with their current record in the league. And I think with Lexi Kilfoyle, Kat Sandercock, and Emily Kennedy all back, that thing is going to start to head down toward the mid-3s.
Okay, and speaking of pitching, we've been having really great conversation. All I've been doing is watch Sheila Wright. We saw this last weekend in Durham, but look at how Reese Atwood standing up a little bit tall, trying to help her find a different height to start that drop ball. And it's even to the point where Reese is almost like standing up out of her crouch, which blocks the umpire a little bit, and then she gets low so that the umpire can see it as the pitch is coming. But continuing to give her target signs.
Smoked into center beyond Clark. It will score 2, and Sydney Sherrill is having herself a night. 4 RBIs now for Sherrill.
I think Sydney Sherrill is so good at pitches down in the zone. This one was right over the heart of the plate, didn't find a corner, but her swing just lends itself to these drop balls that are down. Her 2 RBIs that she had against Ocasio was a drop ball down in the zone, and now 2 RBIs against Wright, another drop ball hit hard. 76 miles an hour off the bat for Sid.
She is the doubles queen, set the Florida State and the ACC doubles record in a single season. That was 29. She also has the Florida State career doubles record. So she's very used to that run out to second base. It's a well-worn path in Tallahassee where Sydney Sherrill made it to second a lot.
And you had pointed this out, about Jayla Wright. The batting average against her coming into this game was just 158. So she's been successful when she's thrown strikes, but where she's gotten herself into trouble is that lack of command at times and free passes and having to throw to extra hitters because of those free passes as she gets a strikeout there.
Roos goes down, but it's 2 more runs for the Spark and a 6 right before the Cascades home opener. We went over the WNBA game. That is a tremendous women's sports town. Jalen Ford has entered the circle for the Spark. They'd love for this to be a quick night. They are just 2 runs away from run rule territory, and they're hoping Jalen Ford can make quick work of 9-1-2 in the Carolina order.
Well, we've seen her do that before, and a couple of her appearances, when she's on, she works quick, goes to her curveball, and is able to get swings and misses with that pitch and called strikes. But when she's her best, she is attacking the strike zone with her curveball. Will also mix in her rise ball, and of course she comes from the left-hand side, throwing about 66, 67 miles an hour from the left-hand side.
Swing and a miss for Ocasio. Jalen Ford, big-time strikeout pitcher 2 the other night in her lone inning of work, 4 in her 2-inning debut against the Talons last week.
Yeah, her ball can really move. This is going to be her rise ball that she gets about a 24% swing and miss rate up in the zone, gets Ocasio to chase this. And, you know, the thing about Jalen Ford, she's been a pro for a while, but she's also been playing in the Japan Diamond League, like we talked about with several of these other players, like Maddie Penta, who started this game. But these hitters have not faced her very often. So despite her being more of a pro veteran, they have not seen her. So it's a completely different look for them as she's playing in the AUSL for the first time.
Up and into Aubrey Leach at 67 miles an hour. She had to turn away from that. 1-1 count. Aubrey now part of what is a little bit of a revamped Tennessee coaching staff. She has been there, but has been elevated to an assistant coaching role. Karen Weekly has also went and added Aaron Earlywine as their hitting coach. So Aubrey moves up into the full-time assistant coaching role at Tennessee. Aaron Earlywine joins as well. Two-two pitch. Aubrey fouls it back.
That foul ball brought to you by Bill Windows.
And Jalen Ford, on a curveball that she threw to Aubrey Leach earlier in the count, had 9 inches of horizontal break to it. So that would be across the plate away from Aubrey Leach on this lefty-on-lefty matchup.
Aubrey into left field at McKinney, and there's 2 outs.
That was another one, 10 inches of horizontal break. That go-to pitch for Jalen Ford is her curveball, throws it about 57% of the time. And when you get 10 inches of horizontal break, able to spot that pitch on the outside corner, that's a tough matchup for lefties.
She was a 4-time conference pitcher of the year for James Madison, 2-time conference player of the year, hit 46 career home runs, and won 82 games in the circle for Mickey Dean at James Madison.
Just loving what I'm seeing from her so far in this league. Now throwing that curveball into the righties. Again, over 10 inches of horizontal break into Reese Atwood. That is so tough for a righty to handle on their hands.
And goes out that time for strike 2.
A bit of a backdoor curveball there. So curveball in, followed by a curveball away. We'll see what she goes to in this 0-2 pitch to see if maybe Reese will chase out of the zone.
4 of Ford's 5 appearances have come out of the bullpen. Back to her. Oh my goodness. Tremendous reaction from Jalen Ford, who's still got it 11 years into her profession.
Bruno and Brew will literally be my name.
This is scorched into the alley in right center field. Haley Lee with a leadoff double. Just the shot she needed. We just saw that great piece on Alyssa Brito, the barista for the Blaze. Anna, did you get a coffee? What's the deal?
I sure did get a coffee. She made me a banana bread latte. It was delicious. And Bruno and Brew is making its way across the country as the Blaze travel. But that's actually her espresso machine. She had it in her hotel room and would invite all the team to her hotel to have coffee. But she said she moved it to the clubhouse so that it's more universally used. And her goal is really just to unite the team.
Banana bread latte, that sounds delicious. Tell you what, that was a huge moment for Haley Lee, and you could see it, almost like relief flooding over her, because that is the Haley Lee I think softball fans know from her days at Oklahoma and Texas A&M.
Oh, she was still celebrating when she got to second base, running into the dugout, just pure elation that she barreled up something and got a hit. Extra bases for Haley Lee, a ton of strikeouts, unfortunately for her so far this season, but we know the type of hitter that Haley Lee is, and it looks like that.
16 strikeouts in 36 at-bats this year. She was just 3 for 30 entering this series. Didn't have a hit in the first game, and then that is a double for Lee, her first extra base hit. And it comes off a new pitcher, Devin Netz, making just her 3rd appearance of the season. This goes left side, Anna Gold's there, making it look routine.
And when she got to second base, she was just so happy swinging early in the count. That was the first pitch that she saw, not wanting to deal with 2 strikes. Aggressive. Look at her face even now, going from first to second. I'm sure her teammates are so happy for her. It's just the worst when you're just struggling at the plate. And I mean, even when you go like 0 for 4 or 0 for 6, like that feels like 0 for 30 to a hitter. So to have this bit of a struggle and all the strikeouts that Haley Lee has had, you know it's probably taken a toll on her, and that felt good.
Again, Anna Gold, and 2 outs after that leadoff double. See how that impacts Haley Lee in the games going forward. Again, they'll have 2 full days off. They'll come back on the 4th of July for a 2-game series against Portland right here in Edmond. Sydney Romero, the chances to keep the Romero home run streak going are dwindling. And another hard hit ball for Romero. This gets by Clark in center. Romero rounding second and headed for third. I can't remember the last ball Sydney Romero hit that wasn't at least 70 miles per hour off the bat.
And the pitch speed was 48 out of the hand of Devin Netz, so she wasn't supplying a ton of power behind it. It was a changeup, and Sydney just slashes it up the middle of the field, hits off the turf, and it was just too much for Clark to handle because of that exit velocity off the turf. Did not play that well. And Oklahoma City is up by 7 runs. If they score 1 more, this is going to be a run roll.
3-hit day for Sydney Romero. Devin Netz trying to extend this game against Delaney Wiz now. First time pitching in 2 weeks for Netz. Good spot from Netz for strike 2. Wiz calls time in the box. This is over to second to Laird, and Carolina will stay alive for at least 1 more inning. We will go to the 6th.
Great hits have been for home runs. The AUSL record is 9 home runs set by Morgan Circle. So we saw Megan Grant, the NCAA Division I home run chase this past spring, and she is now in a professional single season home run chase.
Second inning of work for Jalen Ford. She will face Dakota Kennedy first and jumps ahead 0-2. Alongside Amanda Scarborough and Chucky Kemp, Anna Camden, the 3rd member of our team, down on the field.
We were talking about before the game how important this game is for the Spark. 5-game losing streak toward the bottom of the standings. It's kind of now or never for them to get back on track, and for these 3 pitchers that came from Japan to add some depth and some quality starts and quality innings for their offensive strength that they have. They can score so many runs, but the pitchers have come and given up a lot of runs since they've gotten back. Elena Vaughter, Jalen Ford, Maddie Penta, all are completely capable. And if the Oklahoma City Spark want to make a run toward the top of the standings to get in the top 3, those 3 pitchers are going to be an essential part and have to do their part.
Part of the trouble is the games played for the Spark as Kennedy sends one to left foul. Oklahoma City, after tonight, will have played 15 games. Chicago is at 14. They'll play their 15th tomorrow. But for Carolina, for instance, they played 2 less games than Oklahoma City, and they have 2 more wins. So the chances for the Spark are a little bit slimmer just from what they're going to have the opportunity to do versus a Carolina. As Kennedy goes down on strikes, Jalen Ford is moving it right now. Do you expect, as the season goes on, there's only a few weeks to go, which is hard to believe, but that is the situation right now. Do you think we will see Jalen Ford in more of a starting role? We've only seen her start 1 of her 5 appearances. Do you expect this weekend that she will get the ball to start a game?
Yeah, I think that she should, and I think that she will. I would use her as much as I possibly can in relief to close games. I just feel like she has the experience, the mindset, the stuff for it, and she's proven herself that she can come in here and get swings and misses and quick outs, which is what this team has needed desperately. They've had some just tough games and innings where they just cannot find a way to get outs and giving up so many runs. And even though their offense is their strength, it's a lot to come back from.
5 rookie pitchers to start the season. They're down to just 2 now, Peja Gould and Maya Johnson. The 3 that returned, Jalen Ford, Elena Vaughter, and Maddie Penta, 2 of which we have seen tonight. Vaughter, the one we have not, 3rd-year pro out of South Carolina and Stanford. Might be looking too much into this, but potentially one of the reasons we did not see Elena Vaughter in these games to this point is that she played for Carolina last year. So Cara Dill was her pitching coach, who is now the head coach of the Blaze. Extremely familiar with her arsenal, and might be a little easier of a scout working against somebody who you know so well.
That's very true. Vaughter going to be heavy down, Maddie Penta with that mix, Jalen Ford with the curve and the rise ball up and the change, so they bring a variety of different looks.
That last play, pretty simple ground ball. Tell me as a pitcher though, Jalen Ford, who's so good at fielding her position and so athletic, very heads up, let that go to Kirsten Roos. Is that something as a pitcher you really got to train out of yourself? Popped up for Wiz and makes the catch.
Yeah, there's a time to go and get it and a time to just let it go. And that one, I think she just felt like the timing of the play was good enough to let it go. Not the Schnei with that double first pitch that she saw it, but how about Grace Jenkins and Amari Harper stepping up in this game when some of the veterans as well, but the Spark offense is producing with the vets and the rookies tonight doing so good with 2 outs.
7 for 12 and 8 of their 9 runs have been driven in with 2 outs. Inside, Harper is hit. That is the winning run here in the 6th inning for a potential run rule for OKC. We said it the other night how important that game was and how much of a gut punch it had to be for Oklahoma City after jumping out to an early 4-0 lead. They'd only given up 2 hits through 4 innings and ended up giving up 5 runs in the 5th. They continue to show that never quit mentality though. And even tonight fell behind 2-0, and you probably might be thinking, oh, here we go. They responded immediately with 2 in the bottom of the 1st. Penta bounced back with a couple scoreless innings, and they got 4 in the bottom of the second inning and haven't looked back.
I think her bounce back was so important because in watching the Spark play, the starting pitcher was like, once the opposing offense got to them, they just couldn't find a way to turn the tides and make adjustments. But for Maddie Penta, she really bared down and figured some things out, found a way to give her team a quality start after having a couple of runs off of her in that first inning. I think that was just important for momentum for their pitching staff and momentum for their team to be able to come back and score all these runs.
Bubba left side. Gold has it, wants the lead runner at second, and gets Harper. ESPN is the home of MLB.TV. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLB.TV. Oh. The metal stand that we have for our camera. Also have a mic on that stand, if you couldn't tell. I avoided the fancier words tonight. I don't need you asking me to define any words like the other night.
I know stand and I know post. The other word that you used, no.
Stanchion.
Felt like an SAT word that I was back in high school or something.
How'd you do on that?
I mean, it was just okay.
Yeah, you went and played softball.
Yeah, it was just okay. Yeah. Did what I needed to do to go play softball in college.
Joe Evans, the third base coach for Oklahoma City, saw it and said, good enough for me. Strike three. Cheryl goes down looking.
There she is.
She took a chance on you.
Yeah. I'm so happy that she did. Longtime coach. Love seeing her coach in this pro league, and she is having an absolute blast. Now the head coach at UC Santa Barbara after her time at A&M.
Popped up by Roos. Nets back in a good inning from Devin Nets, second-year pro out of Arizona. Last chance for Carolina coming up in the seventh. In 4 of the 6 innings, Reese Atwood did get Carolina on the board first with a 2-run shot, her 4th of the year, but it just hadn't been enough. This is a lineup for the Spark that have gotten it done very much as a collective tonight. And of course, some standouts like Sydney Romero with 3 hits and Sydney Sherrill driving in a good portion of those runs. There's Sherrill, 2 hits, 4 RBIs, a double. And a tremendous pitching effort from Maddie Penta, who started it, 4 innings, 2 earned. And now Jalen Ford trying to close this out in her 3rd inning of work. 2 innings so far, no hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Two.
In the middle of the lineup for the Blaze, quiet today. 3, 4, and 5 combined, 0 for 9. That's Dakota Kennedy, Bailey Klingler, and Anna Gold.
Laird goes down looking. Another strikeout for Jalen Ford, number 3.
It's had some backdoor action to it. It's a backdoor curveball, so it's going to start at the lefty and then break back across the inside corner. So she can throw her curveball on both sides of the plate, freezes Laird. Looked like it moved a little bit down as well. Great location.
Now Alyssa Brito with 1 out. Kind of got that Juan Soto slide after a ball is thrown.
For the first time this whole game, I thought that same thing right at the same time that you did.
Oh, no. And you saw Ford quickly kind of give her attention behind that. That is a scary pitch, though. It's 66 miles per hour.
I think it hit her in a few different places. Definitely felt it most on her hand or her fingers, since her throwing hand.
Thought you could hear Jalen Ford maybe say I'm sorry when she was running up to Brito. And I think obviously Brito's not happy about it. I don't think there was any intention behind it, but Ford making sure she knew that and gave her a quick little high five.
Yeah, and also kind of went over there and again apologized for hitting her like that. Not intentional.
Here is Joe Evans having a quick conversation with this infield, as well as Courtney Oliver Elkins. We're back again. We have softball every day until when? The 20th?
Every day till the 20th.
Okay, and then we've got a lot more after that. But Thursday night, AUSL, Portland Cascade facing off against the Chicago Bandits at 7 Eastern. Catch it live on ESPN and the app. We are headed that way. Tomorrow morning, off to the Windy City. And then back here for Oklahoma City, Portland in a 2-game set on Saturday and Sunday. We will cap off Women's Sports Sunday after Las Vegas and Indianapolis. Indiana.
They play in Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's my bad, though.
But
talking about where we're going, and then I'm throwing out cities everywhere. A lot of stuff going on,
There's
Amanda.
a lot of location stuff going on. A lot of traveling.
Here is Valerie Cagle. Played in just one game this past weekend against the Talons, and what did she do? Homered in that one game. Her first of the season. 1-1 count. Takes strike 2.
I think that was a good timeout called by Courtney Oliver Elkins, just to go out and talk to Jalen Ford after hitting Brito. I mean, she's just had such a good outing. You could tell that she was remorseful for hitting her. Just wanting to make sure, I think, that she's in a good spot to finish out this game. Like, they're still up by 7 runs. I mean, if Cagle hits a home run and 3 people after her, it's still, you know, they're going to have the lead. But it's just, I think, knowing your pitcher, seeing how she didn't really like how she felt about hitting Brito, and just wanting to make sure that she was in a good headspace to finish out this game.
One-two from Ford. Outside, ball 2. We've seen Carolina put together an inning that would be more than enough. Back in their opening series against Portland, had a 12, or no, gave up a 12-run inning, I should say. So they have seen that happen.
Yes. We've had some big innings. We've also had some close games and pitchers' duels. You know, I feel like we've seen all kinds of games all over the map. We've seen a little bit of everything.
They had the 5-run inning a couple days ago. Seen Chicago put together some massive innings, especially as of late. It's a good at-bat by Cagle after falling behind. Pitch number 8 from Jalen Ford. Outside, Cagle is aboard.
You could see how much Jalen Ford wanted that pitch. I do think it was a little bit off the plate. Did not get the call.
Next to the plate, number 34, Devin Ness.
So 2 free passes here in the 7th inning, given up by Jalen Ford.
Devin Ness, another one who homered in Game 3 against Utah, their lone win in that series. There's strike 1. Carolina winners of 2 straight. Oklahoma City has lost 5 in a row. Oh, the off speed from Jalen Ford, 54 miles per hour for strike 2. She hadn't allowed a base runner until she hit Brito, and then back-to-back free passes after retiring the first 7 she faced. Nets to center field, going back and stays in the ballpark as it hits off the wall. It's going to be an RBI single for Devin Nets. The Blaze not taking any chances on the base paths with this large deficit.
Yeah, Bubba Nicholas Camarena was playing shallow in center field, gave a lot of room back behind her, and this ball off the bat of Devin Nets just kept carrying. It's registering at 230 feet off the bat, which is about the distance to center field. 225 to dead center field. Well struck ball by Nets keeps this thing going.
Now back to the top of the order, down 6. With 2 on. It's Aubrey Leach, Reese Atwood on deck, and Dakota Kennedy in the hole. Still just 1 out in the inning. Aubrey Leach to left center field. McKinney makes the play, and there's 2 outs.
Now batting the catcher, number 15, Reese Atwood.
Here is Reese Atwood. Takes strike 1. One for 3, just 1 for 7 in the 2 games against Oklahoma City. The 1 hit, the 2-run homer. Incredible to think what we've already seen Reese Atwood do in her career at Texas. 2-time national champ, one of the best players in the country over the last few years. And now there's the opportunity to see her and Carlin Pickens as the battery for Carolina for a long, long time in this league and with potentially Team USA.
There could just be a relationship there that grows and grows for many years to come. Fun to think about.
Hitters count for Reese. This is a dangerous pitch for Ford. And does deliver strike 2. The crowd was very pleased with the fact that Reese Atwood tossed her bat and has to get it back.
The one before I thought was a strike and didn't get called. So maybe a bit of a makeup call there. Maybe you just thought that one was a strike and the other one wasn't. But either way, I think this is the count that should be had.
3-2. Atwood to right field. Harper going back and makes the catch. Oklahoma City responds and they snap a 5-game losing streak in excellent fashion.
Quality start from Maddie Penta, followed up by Jalen Ford coming in relief and looking really confident. How about this Oklahoma City offense that came out, scored in the first 2 innings and scored